Know this, but Colleen here was once a gospel music star. Yes, many people don't know that, huh, Colleen?
Well,
look how blood red she was. She said, "You did not just say that."
I did. He did. He's crazy.
Well, you were with the D Heart Trio when you were 3.
And we started when I was 3.
3 years old.
Sang 3-part harmony. We sang all
United
around our
Pentecostal Church, right?
Yes, we sang around our community. We sang at camp meetings and conferences, but then we started growing up, and my brother decided he didn't want to sing anymore, and his voice changed, but I kept singing through the years. But
every man's voice changed. Was it real high before it changed?
Yeah, it was a tenor.
Anyway, how are y'all tonight? I'm so glad you're here. So you miss singing?
Well, I sing. I still sing.
You do?
I mean, I don't perform, but I love to sing.
How was school today? She teaches 4th grade if you're just tuning in. This is one of my dear friends, Colleen, if you've never seen her before. We cook together sometimes, huh?
We do. We do. And we eat together all the time.
Yeah, we're going to go eat after this. We're going to get some Indian food. A place called Surya. If you've ever been in Houston, Surya, Surya. It's delicious. Go visit them. Tell them Mark Lowry sent you. I love their chicken vindaloo.
It's delicious.
So what happened at school today? Did you have to kick any kids out of class?
No, not today.
Not today. She pinches me. She comes over and tells me these great stories, but I say, come on, tell them on the YouTube. Oh, by the way, ADD just kicked in. I'm moving back to Facebook. Many of you said it's much easier for you if we're on Facebook. So I'm going to move it back to Facebook. Next Monday I'm off. The following Monday will be Tiffany Coburn from Voctive. Check her out. She's the tall blonde girl that has this face of an angel and the voice of an angel. She'll be on here. That's March 11th. And then March 18th, Clay Cross. Do you remember Clay Cross? Yes, you weren't following gospel music?
Probably not.
Clay Cross, he had a big hit, I Surrender All, and then I did a parody. I did a parody of it called I Can Eat It All.
Oh my gosh, I know that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he'll be on. And I wanted to tell you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because what's going to happen, if you haven't already done so, is that I will go live on Facebook and then post it to YouTube, because it's easier to find stuff on YouTube, because they, I don't know. That's what I'm going to do, because we'll have a bigger audience on Facebook. How are y'all? Hey, Jackson Smith. I don't have Facebook. Well, then you can watch it on YouTube, Jackson. Let's see. Karen McBride. Yes, I'm so happy you're going back to Facebook. Thank you, Karen. Look at there. I can add her name. Isn't that cool? I still think that's so cool. Hi, Mark from Hauser. Hi, Miss Rhoda from Hauser, Idaho. How are y'all doing, Susan? We're going to Facebook. Much easier. Yay. Okay, good. I'm glad you're glad. I'm not on Facebook either. Can't even talk. Deborah, you can watch it on YouTube after the fact. But we're going back to Facebook, because it's just most of my crowd's on Facebook, and YouTube is a foreign object to them.
But they will be able to see it after.
Yeah, because what happens after we go live, then I'll immediately post it to YouTube so everybody over there can see it, but it won't be live.
Oh, okay.
It'll only be live on Facebook on occasional Mondays with Mark. Let's see what else. But subscribe, hit the little bell button. Where we're going to get it, we've already talked about that. The D Heart Trio we've talked about. I actually made notes. Don't you think, I even put Tammy Faye. Don't you think she'd make a good Tammy Faye? Do you remember Tammy Faye?
I do, yes, of course.
Jim Baker and Tammy Faye. I watched them all the time.
I did too, PTL.
Well, I've got some music for y'all tonight. Remember last week when that sweet Vonnie Lopez and Taylor, Ewing, Trahan,
Yes.
and I can't remember everybody else. Aaron, her husband, and the son's name was
AJ.
AJ. They were all here. Well, we recorded some music. I told you we would. And here is Bubba McNeely, Vonnie Ewing, and Ewing Lopez, and Taylor singing Reba Rambo McGuire. Reba, darling, this is your song. You and Donnie wrote this, Perfect Heart.
Morning sun, light of creation, grassy fields, a velvet floor, silver clouds, a shimmering curtain. He's designed perfect world, and I'm amazed at his talent. I stand in awe of one so great, but now my soul begins to sing out to the source from which it came. Bless the Lord who reigns in beauty. Bless the Lord who reigns with wisdom and with power. Bless the Lord who reigns my life with so much love. He can make a perfect heart. He can make a perfect heart. Morning sun,
Light of creation.
light of creation, grassy fields,
Velvet
a velvet floor,
silver clouds.
silver clouds, that shimmering curtain. Lord, you've designed a perfect world,
I'm amazed.
and I'm amazed at your talent. Lord, I stand in awe of one so great, and now my soul begins to sing out to the source from which it came. Bless the Lord who reigns in beauty. Bless the Lord who reigns with wisdom and with power. Bless the Lord who reigns my life with so much love. He can make a perfect heart. He can make a perfect heart. He can make a perfect heart.
Bradley Walker, how are you?
How you been doing, man?
I'm good. Haven't seen you since the Dove Awards, I guess it
That's right.
was.
Now tell me, where are you located? Where's home for you?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Are you really? Okay.
Yeah, that's where I was born and raised.
I guess I didn't realize that. Wow. Okay.
And you're from Alabama, or
Yep.
is it
Athens, Alabama.
Athens,
Yep.
Alabama. I've been listening to your CD. Now, did Ben Isaacs produce Blessed?
He did.
Well, Say Something, that song, number one.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a powerful song.
Yep.
Powerful song. Now, are you singing that live when you go places?
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, take me back to Athens, Alabama. For anybody tuning in who doesn't know Bradley Walker, and this is their first time to know you, you were born with muscular dystrophy, but you were born what year?
78.
78. That was 2 years before I graduated from college. You're so young.
Yeah.
So tell me about your growing up years.
Man, I still live in the same community where I was born and raised.
You're in Athens, Alabama?
Athens, Alabama. I'm if you were to look at a map, I'm right between Nashville and Birmingham, right smack dab between the two cities. Northern Alabama, close to Huntsville.
All right.
So
you have brothers and sisters?
No. I'm an only child.
So you're spoiled.
Nah, I'm not spoiled. No way.
I bet you are.
No way.
Tell me about your mom and dad.
Oh gosh, my mom and dad both they loved music all of my life. Mama worked in a music as she was carrying me when she was pregnant with me. She was working in a local record shop here in town, and so we laugh and say that I got to hear a lot of great music even before I was ever born. You know, when she was spinning records for people back in the day. And Daddy, he sang a little bit around town in a local, some local shows. Not a whole lot, but sang a little bit. And they both just instilled in me a love of music. A deep love of music from as early as I can remember.
And so how did you go from there to driving to Nashville? I was reading in your bio that did your mother take you to Nashville on those trips to the Opry I was reading about, or do you actually get in and drive?
Oh, I drive. Yes, sir.
How long have you been driving?
I've been driving since I was about 17.
Just like me.
You have to wait. People who are in a chair and have to have special equipment. A lot of times have to wait a little bit longer to get the evaluations needed and everything to find out what equipment that you're going to need to help be able to drive. But I've been driving ever since I was about 17 years old. Yes, sir.
So those sleepless nights you talk about on your website, go to bradleywalker.com if you want to read this. Were your mother worrying about you getting home? Yep,
that's right.
It wasn't her driving you there and then driving you back sleepless nights, as that her boy was on. So let me ask you this, out of curiosity. When you stop for gas, you fill up your own tank?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so you get out and you have to get your wheelchair out, or how does that work?
Absolutely. Yep. So I drive. I sit in. I have the seat. The driver's seat of a vehicle, mine will actually move around. It swivels around, and I transfer from my chair into the driver's seat. Okay. And I drive, and so when I just pull up to the tank, and I get out just like I'm going to get out and go anywhere else, and go around and fill up my gas tank. And
so you have really no limitations.
No, sir. No, sir. I don't let anything hold me back.
That is great. And so how did you get into the business? How did you meet Rory and Joey? How did all that happen?
Man, I have been singing, Mark, from the time I was 3 or 4 years old. And to go way back, we had a dear friend here in Huntsville who worked at the Hilton Hotel, which has since even been torn down. But back in the day, that was the place where all the stars if they came through Huntsville, and everybody did back then, that's where they all stayed. And so this friend knew at 3 or 4 years old that I could sing Elvira by the Oak Ridge Boys.
Oh, really?
And so he introduced me to the guys, to the Oak Ridge Boys, when I was very, very young. And that started a friendship that you said you'd been listening to Blessed. You know, the Oaks are singing with me on Family Bible on Blessed.
Love that song.
They still, we've remained in touch my whole life. They invited me when I was 10 years old to sing on Nashville Now. You remember the old Ralph Emery show, Nashville Now?
Oh, yes, I sure do.
I sang on there when I was 10 with the Oaks and sang a song on my own. And so I've been singing my whole life. You know, God has blessed me in so many ways. Just to cross paths with the people that I've been able to cross paths with.
It is just walking through one door after another, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I was reading on your I saw the Nashville Now. Did you ever do Jerry Lewis's, or was that already over?
No, we did Nashville Now in '89. I was 10 years old in March of 1989. And then the same year, the people at MDA, that's muscular dystrophy that's what I have. That's why I'm in a wheelchair, is because I have a form of muscular dystrophy.
Right.
And the people with muscular dystrophy caught wind of the Oak Ridge Boys and I singing on Nashville Now, and so they asked if we could come out to Vegas and do the Jerry Lewis Telethon, the national telethon. And so the guys were off, and they agreed to do that with me. And so, yeah, we got to go to Vegas and sing on the Jerry Lewis Telethon together.
Well, through the years, you've evidently met a lot of those country stars, because on your Blessed album, you're like me. You grab all your friends and make them come sing with you. Jimmy Fortune is singing with you, the Oak Ridge Boys, Alison Krauss, Vince Gill, Rhonda Vincent, Charlotte Ritchie, Ricky Skaggs, and his sweet wife, and the Isaacs. I mean, you had the whole cast of music. I mean, there's all kinds of music: gospel, country, bluegrass. In fact, you won a bluegrass award before you ever started singing gospel, correct?
I did. I won the Male Vocalist of the Year award from the International Bluegrass Association, IBMA, back in 2007. I sure did. And just to hear you read those names off, it's still, I get chills just thinking about that those people would want to sing with me. You know, it's just, and kind of that goes along with the title of the album. I just feel so blessed, Mark, to be able to call those people. They're not only musical influences and heroes of mine, but they're all friends too. You know, that takes it to a different level when you can honestly say that they're friends. You know, and all those people are.
I hear a little of what's that guy? Three Crosses. What's his name?
Randy Travis.
Randy Travis. Was he an influence?
Absolutely. And you know what? More people tell me that they hear Randy Travis in my voice than his name is brought up more than anybody. And something really cool that happened, one of the times when my first Gaither special was being aired, they called me Old Fashioned Special, that I did with Rory. I got an email from Randy's wife, Mary. She told me they had been watching it on TV and how much they enjoyed it, and that they had been sitting at the computer, and Randy had been listening to some YouTube videos online. And you talk about an honor and a blessing to get that note from her, to know that somebody like Randy Travis would want to sit and listen to my music. Man, what a blessing that was and is.
Isn't that great?
And I've since got to meet him and her and just great people. But he is an influence, definitely.
Oh, I can tell. I can tell. It's, everybody has an influence like that. All the great singers, and if you go back and ask him, somebody influenced him. Probably Merle Haggard.
Hag's a big influence on me too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was gonna say that's other than Randy, that's the other name that comes up a lot. People can hear that, I think, in my voice is the Haggard influence, and yeah, I mean it all gets passed down. I think
So when you go to a Bradley, do you do a lot of concerts? How many concerts a year are you trying to do?
I don't shoot for a certain number because I still work full time.
Yeah, let's talk about that. What do you do?
I work at a nuclear power plant here at home.
What,
Yeah.
what do you do there?
It's not as glamorous as everybody thinks.
It's not exciting.
I'm a parts guy. I chase parts and try to help us get parts that we need for the work that's going on. So I'm not in the control room working the reactor or anything like that. I'm just chasing parts.
You don't have your finger on the button?
No, sir. No.
That would be a little more responsibility than I think you'd probably want.
Right. Absolutely.
So when you do concerts in churches, I guess you do bluegrass festivals. I mean, I've always said I'd sing in hell if they'd let me out. It may be like that too.
I've started to sing more in churches. We've got quite a few church services booked this year. I've got a few bluegrass festivals booked. The way I look at it, I want to sing for as many people that want to listen, and anywhere that I can. And I guess just because I've grown up singing, I started out as a very young child singing gospel music. One of the first songs I ever learned to sing was "Why Me, Lord" by Chris Christopherson. And so, I started out doing that and grew up loving country music and singing country music for a long time and got into bluegrass right after I graduated high school. And so I still want to do as much of all of that as I can. And just my goal is just to try to reach as many people as I can,
So Bill Gaither heard you for the first time at Joey's funeral when you sang, what was the song you sang?
Leave it there. Take your burden to the Lord and leave it there. Yep.
And then he signed you. I've never seen Bill sign anybody that fast.
Really?
Usually he thinks about it. Even when we got it, every time we'd get a new tenor or a new anything, he wouldn't hire anybody. He made me audition for weeks. It took him a long time whether they wanted me to come.
Wow.
But he was on. I mean, first thing I knew, the funeral happened. Next thing I know, he'd signed you, and he was so excited. Are you excited about what all's happening with your project?
Brother, I got chills just hearing you say that. And Mark, the crazy thing is, in 1 week from today, next Monday, it will be 3 years since Joey passed away.
Wow.
And I got a phone call that night asking me if I would sing at her memorial service, and so we did that. Two dear friends of mine, Carl Jackson and Val Story, and I sang the song "Leave It There." And I got to tell you, because you'll understand this, I wasn't thinking about. All I was trying to do was get through the song, remember the words, and do a good job for a dear friend. Because that's such an honor to be asked to sing for somebody at that time. And about a week after the service, I met Gloria. I met Gloria at the service. Didn't get to meet Bill there that day.
Okay.
But about a week after the service happened, Rory was calling me and saying that he'd been in some meetings with the folks at Gaither and that they were ready to do a project. And ever since, and still, I'm so honored to be associated with Bill Gaither, to be associated with what he does and what he has done for so many years. never expected something like that to happen. I just never did. And I think, we always know that God's plans are better and bigger than ours. And but when something like that happens, it just affirms it, that it's beyond anything you could have ever imagined. And so I'm just so thankful.
Yeah, it's you know what, you're such a humble guy, and every time I'm around you, I feel like there's this real genuine humility, which I love seeing because I have so little of that myself. but what's in the future for you? You're a young man. You're 41, right? 40, 41?
I'm 40. I'll be 41 in August.
So what you've sung with everybody now? What are you going to do next?
Man, well, something that I'm really excited about that we're about to start working on here pretty soon is a project with myself, Ben Isaacs, a dear friend of ours named Mike Rogers. Mike sang some harmony on the Blessed record, and he's on the Blessed DVD as well, playing guitar. And a guy by the name of Jimmy Fortune that we all know and love. The four of us are going to do a project together. It's going to be a Gaither project. Yeah.
Do you think you might do some shows together too?
It's been mentioned.
That would be good.
I don't know how easy that would be, just getting all of our schedules lined up, but I hope that we can do some shows. We got together back in the fall and sang together, all four of us, for the first time, and just had a ball.
Is the harmony, as a blend, good?
It's unbelievable.
You've got a very blendable voice. Very blendable. I mean, your voice. I mean, you could blend. You're like flour in the cake. It's that rich, holds it all together kind of voice.
Thank you. Well, and I enjoy singing harmony just as much as I do sing lead. I mean, I sing baritone harmony a lot with people and sing a little bass harmony too, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. It's just going to be a fun project to do. I think we're going to do a video. There's talk of possibly doing a video, so look for that later on this year at some time. That's going to be fun.
Well, BradleyWalker.com, everybody. Hey, Bradley, let's close. Can you do a little a cappella, Leave It There, and we'll close with that.
Leave it there, leave it there. Take your burden to the Lord. Oh, and leave it there. If you trust Him through your doubt, He will surely bring you out. Take your burden to the Lord. Leave it there.
Oh, that's so good. Thank you, Bradley.
Mark, thank you so much. I'm honored that you would have me as a part of your Mondays with Mark, and I appreciate your support so much, brother. I hope to see you soon.
I'm honored for me and all my friends watching to get to know you better. Everybody
Thank y'all.
Go to BradleyWalker.com, and also on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora. Just type in Bradley Walker and you won't be disappointed.
And also, anybody on Facebook or Instagram, social media, it's just Bradley Walker Music, all one word. You can find me on there. Sorry?
Bradley Walker Music.
Right, for social media. And I just want to thank everybody for their support. I mean, this. We couldn't do this without the folks that support us. And so thanks to everybody for your support, your encouragement, and your prayers, because we feel them. We really do.
That's right. I believe that too. Yeah, I tell everybody when it's those people that have kept me from having to work for a living all these years. You better be nice to them. They're your boss.
That's right. You got it. You got it. It's
all right. Take care, my friend.
God bless you, brother. Thank you so much.
God bless you, buddy. Bye-bye.
What a sweet guy. Don't you love him? And he can sing, y'all. Go to BradleyWalker.com and listen to some of his music. I'm excited to also play for you as we close here tonight, Taylor Ewing Trahan. Hey, Taylor, I hope you're watching. She sang a beautiful song I want to close with. And I will see you 2 weeks from tonight, right? Not next Monday, but the next, with Tiffany Coburn as my special guest. Let's close with a beautiful song, It Won't Rain Always.
Someone said that in each life some rain was bound to fall. Each one shed, each